Hi, so I'm heading down again to the old railway station. It's not in use, but there's certainly a lot of activity there always, with animals and people and all sorts of things. Now, hold on, I'll show you why I'm heading down there. This is real interesting, but I've got to reverse the camera. Give me a minute. So last night I heard the sound of the train horn and I thought, that's strange. I was told by the engineers that there would be no more trains coming down here, but I don't know if you can see. I've not got this zoomed in at all, so I couldn't come down yesterday because it's been pouring with rain for 2 days, and here's this little white horse in front of me. He's got real bad legs. He's had something wrong with his front legs for a long time. Such a shame. He's a lovely little creature. Hey. Hey. There we are. He's so skinny and he's lame. He's always hereabouts. But he's a good boy. So yeah. This line is the one I was walking on Sunday, but I went miles in the other direction. So I'm going to pause here a minute and I'll walk down to the station and see the engine. Actually, thinking about it, I'll walk down because this looks like a lot of old wagons here. They're not exactly in the greatest condition. So I've just come down from up there, as you can see. I'm really surprised to see this. That's the station there, back in the distance there. Trying to work out where the engine is. Is the engine even there? So the engine is down there. Let's go and have a look. I tell you, every time I come down here, there's something happening. Do you know what that says? It says eating animals is violence, go vegan. This is where I saw the cat. The cat was sat up on one of those windows, and when I came around that corner, the cat come running up to me. If you've not watched my shorts, go and have a look at Catwalk 3. It's an amazing cat with like really bright blue eyes. Can't see it here today though. So this is the engine. Let me zoom out a bit. There we are. Let's get a better shot there. So this red one is actually the engine, the pulling engine. Ooh. Just in the big hole. This might be the same engine that seen down here before. Oh, hello. What have we got here? Oh, wow. Wow. Two engines here. Let's go and have a look. I worked on the trains for a while, on the railways for a while, only for a year. It was a training programme when I must have been 17. We used to have something, it was called YTS, Youth Training Scheme. when I joined, it had just changed to that from the old YOPS, which was the Youth Opportunities schemes. So on the YTS, we did all kinds of things on the rail. In 1 year, I got to know the workings of the railways in the UK really well. We did all kinds of things. There was like the platform duty, so working at stations, basically sweeping up the platform, carrying people's baggages, and giving the okay to the guard to give the okay to the driver. You know, used to wave little green flags and things, and sat in a little room drinking lots of really strong overstewed tea, which the platform staff used to like. They're basically old men that liked to drink really strong stewed tea, which I couldn't stand it. It probably put me off tea for life, you know. And then there was signal box duty, so I was stationed at I was stationed at a couple of different signal boxes. That was pretty boring, to be honest, because stationed out on the little branch lines where there was hardly any trains, and they just taught you basically which you used to have to change the you used to have to give the signals, you know. I can't remember exactly, but where you used to change the connections on the railways to put a train onto a different track, give the stop signal and the go signal in the signal boxes, all mechanical. It's all digitalized now, but it was still mechanical on the branch lines back in those days. Then there was guard duty, which was the best part of the whole year, really. Being a guard on a train, so initially working under, you know, a proper guard, but you know, going along the passenger trains, punching everyone's tickets, asking for their tickets every couple of stops. You'd go and do the walk the trains. So I used to be on the Exeter to Paddington, London route for a while. That was probably for 3 or 4 weeks, did that, maybe longer. That was fun. I really liked that. I liked it more because you got to talk to people. It was like a lot of the other jobs were kind of isolated, but the passenger guard, really good job. Enjoyed that a lot. Then there was the freight guard as well. So there's 2 different types of guard, or 2 different types of train. There's passenger trains and there's freight trains. Now the freight guard was something completely different. You basically got the engine at the front where the driver sits, and then you've got a guard carriage right at the back of the train, and everything in between is freight, you know. So technically I was supposed to sit on my own in that little box carriage at the end of the train, but the drivers were really nice. They would let me sit up in the engine and even drive the train, which was really easy because, you know, once you're going, you just keep it at a certain speed. You had to you fed the engine with coal, you fed the fire with coal, basically, and it was beautiful. I wish I was doing that now, because I would just make loads of videos of the train journeys, you know. That'd be great. Then you come into the yards and you'd have to learn how to couple and uncouple carriages, that kind of thing. And some of the yards would have their own kind of staff place, because some of them were busy. The one down to Plymouth, there was one freight yard down somewhere outside of Plymouth, which was busy, you know, so there was always drivers and guards there, and they had a canteen and everything. That was good. So you'd have to hang out there for an hour or two and then journey back with another freight or whatever. So there was that. Also, what other things? I did the station duty. Platform duty, I did at Exeter St David's and Newton Abbot. Red Star parcels. So the trains had their own parcel service called Red Star parcels, which would be individual specially paid deliveries to people, you know. Like, all this was before the internet, so similarly now you'd get like Amazon and those kind of deliveries, but it was all done by train in the old days, and not on the internet, you know. But so I worked down at Newton Abbot. I did Red Star parcels, and I think I did platform duty at Newton Abbot. I did the mail, which is not Red Star, but it's just the general mail. Did that at Exeter St David's for a while. That was good. I enjoyed that. That was one of the jobs. I think the guard duty on the passenger trains I liked the most, and then the mail trains would come in, and you'd have to work so quickly. There'd be a whole crew of you getting all those sacks of mail off those trains into the sorting depot, and then I can't remember exactly how it worked, but you'd have to sort it all out somehow. I can't remember if you'd have to categorize it all into different areas and stuff. So that was good. What else did I do during that year? I'm trying to think now. There was the signals, the stations, the guard work, the mail work. Well, there were a lot of times when we did theory in a classroom as well. So you'd probably do like 6 weeks, 6 weeks practical, and then 2 or 3 weeks theory. So they'd train you up in the theory before you went out to do the practical, depending on what type of job you were assigned to, you know. It was good. YTS in those days was good. I mean, you didn't get paid very much. You got I think at the time we got £25 a week, which is basically what you'd get on the dole. But it was really good. It was really good experience. Great to learn how to work as a 17-year-old. Great to learn how to work both, you know, in a proper work situation like that with trained staff and getting on with older people, but also working in the public, which was good. It prepared me in life for a lot of things. At the end of the year, I could have had the opportunity to work on the rails permanently, but I didn't want to. I just didn't want to. Because I was, you know, I think I came off it by the time I was hitting 18, and I just wanted to do other things, you know. I just wanted to learn so much. I didn't want to settle down in a permanent job at that point. So the thing was, in those days, I mean, we're talking about the early to mid 80s, there was so much work, you could literally like change jobs all the time. It was like job security was not a problem. So I went on and did other things after that. I did shop work, construction site work, all kinds of things. You know, over the years, throughout my 20s, did all kinds of things: farm work, horticultural, factory work. It was later on in life that I went into like school work and working with children and teaching and things, you know. But yeah, at that point I was, I mean, if I had the opportunity now, I would take it, absolutely. If I got the opportunity to work on the railways now, no doubt about it, I would be absolutely on it. But back then at 17, 18, no, there was too much to do. Too much to do and see in the world. And of course I ended up traveling a lot. By the time I was in my mid to late 20s, I was going over to France every year to work the fruit farms, and I just loved it. I just loved traveling, being an itinerant worker. Looking for work abroad was like scary. The first year I did it, it was scary to go to France and try and find work, travel around, hitchhiked all over Europe really. But you could back then. Those were the days, you know. Anyways, I'm going to leave this here for now, I think. And yeah, there's a policeman down there. I think that's probably whose car. He saw me filming his car or whatever, but don't want to annoy anyone by staying here too long. So Brazil's quite the different place, different gravy here. Different gravy. But yeah, so this is where I come down and film a lot of things. I just love it down here. I love hanging out down here, and there's always something going on. Horses, cattle, dogs, cats, chickens, people even. Yeah, so I'm really surprised to see these engines here. So there's two of them, because I was told that after March the 20th they wouldn't be here anymore, but you know. Anyways, if I can get this up today, I will do. I don't know if I got time before tonight's stream. Tonight I'm streaming on 1 John 5:3. His commandments are not grievous. I think it's really important thing to do a bit more in depth on, because I've looked at it before with you guys on the channel, you know, but there's so much more to understanding about his commandments and understanding that they're separate, or they're not the same thing as the law that does not mix with grace. So anyway, I won't go on about that now because I'll talk about it later, but love you all, and the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Amen.